Welcome to Joy Spaces.
Wow, this is beautiful. Oh, I have to take y'all on a tour of this Joy Spaces. Wow, how beautiful. Hello, friends. Today I'm sitting here with Shayna Rivers. Shayna, tell everybody the name of your two companies.
So the first one is the Atlanta Home Experts, which is my real estate brokerage. And the second one is Joy Spaces, which is my collaboration center, shared space for entrepreneurs.
And I'm going to take a little trip around the office today, so you'll be able to see exactly where that's at. Now, I recently watched a video of a young lady who said, I didn't feel like I could ever own a home. And even though she was a young girl, I said, wow, I wonder how many people out there are feeling like that. So I decided to talk to an expert to find out what are the basic things everyone should be doing just to prepare to buy a home. So do you have the secret formula to that, Miss Shayna?
All the time I have the secret formula.
Okay.
So one thing, and I'm always speaking from, even though this is my life and I do this full time and I help people and walk them through and coach them through the process, I also went through this myself.
Right.
I went through thinking I could never do this. My credit's not good. My money's not good. But the one thing that I advise everyone to do is to definitely make sure you're paying your bills on time. Once you can get into the habit of paying your bills on time, then it becomes a lifestyle.
Right.
And now everything around you flows effortlessly. The income for those bills flows effortlessly.
Yes.
If you're going to be so haphazard and careless about the little things, why should you get a bigger thing and a bigger commitment?
Right.
So that's going to be my very first tip, is to make sure that you are being responsible with the little bills, like
being responsible with your bills and your payments
and your money. You know, like the thing is, we pray and we ask God for more money, but I truly believe that you can obtain wealth at whatever level that you are, if you're managing your money correctly.
Right.
And if you're being responsible and being faithful over the few dollars, now you can get more dollars.
And that's spiritual law: faithful in least, faithful in more, or most. But I believe in a lot of the principles that the Bible holds out for us, that people quote them and they don't really ascribe to them and putting it to use. They don't actually do it.
Right.
They know it, but they don't do it.
Right. And a lot of times people that come to me, they are very much so looking on social media and they're seeing all this stuff, and they're also spending time trying to keep up with everybody else and getting these certain name brands and doing these things. And I'm like, you clearly spent $2,000 on this. How is that going to benefit you in the future? Sometimes you have to, and I encourage everyone that comes to me and they want to start saving money, I say sometimes you have to sacrifice the temporal
for the permanent,
for something that is going to be more long-term for you.
That's right.
And the sacrifice is temporary for the greater good, you know? So if it is, I can't go to the nail shop for a year. You know what I'm saying? I'm cutting out weaves and lashes and all these external things that are not growing me internally, but they're making me feel good from the external standpoint. I say cut them out. Cut them out temporarily, and then you can see that over time, you can save thousands of dollars.
Right.
That's your house money. That's your down payment right there.
That's going to be, we're going to talk more in depth about that part 2 of this video, because even I went through that process. I had a home, I sacrificed, I bought my first house, then I found myself back into a rental. So I had to come out of that rental. In order to get out of that rental, I had to go back to that frame of mind and that process of sacrifice and saving, refocusing where the money went, getting rid of debt that I had accumulated from point A to point B. And so we're going to dive a little deeper into many different ways on how you can actually change your mindset, change your wallet, change your purse, and change your banking habits and your relationship with money in order to move on to the greater good and your goals. So when someone comes to you, what I think people do is they get excited, I'm ready to buy a house, but they're truly not ready, because the first thing they need to do is maybe pull their credit report, check out their credit report, check out their taxes. What are those business things that they need to have in place? Or, what are the top 3 things that someone needs to already have in place? Like, I know you always mention being pre-qualified. How do we get that to that level once we take care of our money and our habits, which we're going to talk about after we talk about getting to that point? I got my money right.
So I always talk about people being financially healthy.
Right.
And that is the first place you need to be in to make sure that you're going to be able to get pre-approved for a home loan. We don't want to just get pre-qualified. We want to get pre-approved because there is a big difference there.
But let's talk about that, because what you're saying is so true. People get those 2 terms confused. So let everybody know the difference between those 2 terms.
So the difference with being pre-qualified is we're just having a conversation, basically, whether that's just on the internet through an application. It's just hearsay. It's the lender saying yes to you based upon just what you're putting in. But now we need to go deeper, and I need to actually see your documentation. Can you back up? I need to see all the receipts to everything you just said.
Because how many people get excited and come to you with that first they're qualified?
At least half the people that come to me, they're so excited.
They haven't really been approved.
Nobody's been approved, or they got a letter in the mail, or something like that. Like when you get credit card things, pre-qualified. Right. They don't say you're pre-approved because they haven't really vetted everything out. They haven't talked about your income. That's one of the major things is, do I have stable income coming in?
Right.
If I'm an entrepreneur, some of the rules change. I can't just have, 1 year of entrepreneurship. I can't file my taxes and write every single thing off, because now, and a lot of entrepreneurs have that issue where they want to write everything off, but now you're not approved off of your everything you brought in. You're approved off of your net after write-offs.
Right.
So you can't you can't make 100,000, write off 75. Man, I wrote everything off. Right. I don't have to pay any taxes.
So this just seems to me like this is a great conversation, because Shayna is setting the record straight. There's so much miseducation. On one hand, you think you're getting over, but you ain't even out from under.
Right. People get this idea in their head, especially in January. Happy New Year, new house, new home. And then you see all these people, a new house is in your future. But what are you doing to make sure that you're getting in position to obtain that goal? You know what I'm saying? We say things, but we're not working toward. And working toward means I'm saving my money.
Right.
I know my financial health. And that financial health comes from knowing my credit score, having secure, consistent income coming in, and making sure ultimately that I'm saving money. Okay,
so I'm moving through the steps. I'm ready to move from the pre-qualified to approval. Talk to us about a credit score. What does I hear everybody saying 700 to 800, but what's a healthy credit score for the average American worker who wants to buy a home? What's the goal?
So the average goal, when you're talking to a lender, they really want to see someone in the 620 to 640. You can buy a house with less than that as a credit score. You can actually buy a house down to 500 credit score. Now, everything else got to line up, right?
Right.
And you'll have to bring more money to the table, and you also will probably end up with a higher interest rate.
Right.
So in that case, you're saving money essentially because you'll be owning, and you don't have to worry about inflation and things like that. But if you get to a higher credit score, anywhere between 620 and 640. After that, I also hear home buyers saying, I really want to get into 800 before I buy a house. That's not really going to change much of anything. You don't get any handouts for having an 800 credit score. The interest rates, there's basically 3 classes of interest rates, right?
Education, y'all.
So you
didn't know that. I didn't know that. I always thought the higher maybe for some credit cards and things like that, but not to buy a home. So let's shoot to be at least in between 620
and 640 at your minimum. because that's the healthiest place to be in, and it gets you still in the top interest rates. Like, because I have a 640, it's not going to change. I'm not going to get a lower interest rate because I have a 700 at this point, right? The riskier you are, once you're at the 620, 640, you're looked at less of a risk to the bank, right? Anything below that, they're like, because something is keeping your credit lower. I don't care if you went to a credit repair company and they wiped everything off and they don't see the bank still sees that there's no healthy growing activity on your credit report. And then they can also see that everything got wiped off, right? So they see, oh, she did something just for this, but there's a reason why. And a lot of times people go to credit repair companies, but the credit repair companies are charging you money, but they're not giving you the health tips to grow your credit back.
Right. I feel like a lot of those credit companies are washing their own back. They're not really in your best interest, and you don't know how temporary the situation can be. Because I've heard people say, oh, it stayed off my credit for a year. Okay, well, then it came back. So that goes back to the mindset of healthy, what did you call it?
Financial health.
Financial health. Being healthy in your mindset. So maybe you owe $600 to this company, and it's been on your credit for a while. Pay it off.
Yeah.
Stop trying to hide stuff and get over when you ain't out from under. Do things right the first time.
And a lot of us, we're so embarrassed of our credit. We were not taught credit education. So we don't even want to look at it. And the thing is, if we hide from it, it's not going to go away.
It's not going away. Like,
it's not going away.
You get under the covers and you think the monster's going away. You have to bite it off one step at a time. That's why, in my opinion, I feel like 6 months to a year is a good time frame for you to transition, get healthy, and make those necessary steps so you're not wasting people's time, you're not wasting your time, you're getting excited, and then you say, I got to do what? Go all the way back.
Then they got to start over with the new
Shoots and ladders. Remember the game Shoots and Ladders? You up here, you roll the dice, now you got to slide back down and start over. And this is why we're having this conversation.
But they got the new bag and the latest outfits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
it's mindset.
About mindset and priority.
People also like to wear their wealth or their lack of. Like, I'm not carrying a $5,000 bag around and I don't have $5,000 in the bank, or, I'm suffering somewhere else in my life. Something is lacking. If anybody knows me, I'm very savvy and frugal. I don't ascribe to the populace. Well, you got it honestly. I don't ascribe to the populace. I'm not following the trends. I'm building a life that I love. So I advise people, that's what I advise people, build the life that you love. You don't have to be involved with everything that everybody's doing. You buy a home that you can afford. Are you buying a home to show off? Are you buying a home to put down family
You have
roots?
to know your why.
Are you buying as a first-time buyer to invest in something small and then you, in a few years, sell and upgrade? Are you climbing?
Right. I always tell my buyers when they first come to me for a consultation, like, why are you buying a house? And that helps me be able to direct them better. If they just say, I want this house, my cousin bought this huge house, or, whatever, I'm just trying to grow. I just want stability. My purpose for purchasing a home was I wanted stability for my children. I wanted them to have one place, one community where they could grow up, go to the same schools, know that that is their home.
Well, because how many schools did you go to?
11.
Y'all don't know about Miss Celeste 360. I loved moving around so much. This is my daughter. She said she went to 11 schools, but I always say it made you a real well-rounded person. You know how to get along with people. But on the flip side, back in the 80s, I wasn't able to purchase a home. I was that person who never
in California.
We lived in California, which was so expensive. A fixer-upper was $500,000. So, when I moved to Atlanta, I did buy my first house that was affordable. I think it was $87,000, my first house. Yeah. On that Tulani farm. But the reason behind why are you purchasing? Why are you buying? There was a time period right before the big fall 2007, where people were buying and selling, and flipping, and buying and selling and flipping, and they regretted it because they did not put roots down.
Right.
You know, every time you move, you lose something, whether it's your antiques, your furniture, jewelry, shoes. Those moving companies steal stuff. That's a whole nother story I could tell you, because I've done so many corporate moves. Things come up missing. The girl told me the other day she's missing these $3,000 boots. I said, oh, okay. So you know,
tips. My top tips are having your money saved, knowing your credit, and having consistent income.
Right. Did you all hear that?
So knowing your credit. And any financial purchase, any financially healthy person, they know their credit. Like, I know people, they're not even in the process of buying something, but they talk about credit. They know their credit. They're ready all the time. They know if something hits their credit that's not theirs, they know. They manage it. You have to manage that stuff.
Buying a home is one of the largest investments the average person will make.
Yes.
So you want to put your mind there. You want to put your heart there. You want to put some of that soul into it, to really sticking to the process.
Yeah.
You know, not abandon it. If you fall short in one category, get the information. Say, what can I do? We go to the doctors to get a physical health checkup. By sticking with your realtor, your agent, they're going to tell you what you need to do. Stick with them. Stick to the program. Discipline. How important is discipline?
You need discipline. In order to, discipline and self-control is going to play a big part, because without discipline, without being consistent in your discipline, I mean, people get on these trends. Yeah. I'm going to do this for a week and then on to whatever it is we're doing. But this is your life on the line, right? Even greater than purchasing a home. I always tell people, don't get your credit right just to buy a house, because when I see people do that, they go back to their same habits.
I did.
And it's my credit is bad.
I confess. I did that. I got the house and then I was like, oh, I don't care no more.
Right.
But there were other things I needed to accomplish, and so I'm back to square one of getting that credit in order and doing this. And I dug myself out before. I knew how to do it, but did I stay consistent? No, because that was the goal, was getting that first first house.
How I look at my credit is anything, like now I have A1 business credit. I have 815 credit score, you know, and I don't even give myself credit for that, because my husband pays all the bills. Like he literally pays every bill for my business.
You have help.
I have assistants in that area, which I'm so grateful for. But the one thing that I say is that this is your financial report on your financial health report on paper. So when you're going to ask for something, they don't know you personally. They don't know if you're worth taking a risk on, except by that paper. That one score that says, hey, missed 30 days, missed 30 days, missed 90 days, foreclosure, you know, repo, whatever the case may be. That's what they're saying. And they're saying, hey, I don't know if I can trust you with my money.
I will say that as a more seasoned woman, I'm really excited about the information that's out there and what I see young people accomplishing. It took me way longer to buy my first house than it took you to get your first. You in your 20s.
Yeah, we were 23.
And I was in my 30s, which was still pretty cool. But I'm seeing people younger and younger grabbing this information, taking hold of it, and moving forward in a positive direction so that their future looks brighter. Right. You know, real estate is the quickest path to long-term wealth. Absolutely. And you're sitting there paying your rent. And you know, what about this trend about, well, renting is better because you don't have to fix nothing. You know, you don't have repairs, you don't have taxes, but you're throwing all that money. And if you haven't seen the rental market right now, it's through the roof. It's crazy. When I first came to Georgia, I paid $875 for a 3-bedroom townhouse.
Not happening now.
It's nowhere. You can't even find a 1-bedroom for that price. But as long you're putting into you're building equity as opposed to just giving it away. Oh, here's $1,200 for this apartment.
What's the mindset too? You know,
That's
because
what it is.
if people feel like if they can put the narrative out there, which is putting us back in a position as a people.
Yes.
This is the easiest thing. The easiest thing is not to have to repair anything, fix anything. Right. But guess what? If I die, my kids get nothing.
Right.
If I want to move, I get nothing. If I want to relocate, I have to pay more. You know, it's just like they're trying to set it up to where it's easier.
You know, when you're in an apartment setting, nothing wrong with it if that's where you're at. That's where your level is. But it's just offers so much. You know, like if I want to paint my house purple, blue, pink, yellow.
There's freedoms in home ownership. Yeah,
you have so much. And I think that people don't respect heritage. You know,
right.
You have something to leave to your next generation.
Right. And even down to just understanding how wealth, like I always tell my clients, like you need to start somewhere. You don't have to start off with your 5-bedroom, 4-bath home, right? You might want to start off, even with children, you might want to start off with a 2 or 3-bedroom home, just to get acclimated into home ownership. Wait till the market is great, sell it. And this has happened to a few of my clients where they bought something they might not have really wanted from the beginning, like a townhome for $150,000. I had a client buy that, was able to turn around in less than 2 years, sell it for $215,000.
Right. So she made money. That was a wise investment. You know, even buying income properties, duplexes, things with split levels, so the bottom actually pays for the top. You know, there's people are the number one charity is to help homelessness. The ratio of black home ownership is back to where it was when redlining was a prominent practice in the industry, where they could prevent you from buying a home because you were a black person steering. A lot of these things came into play from in the 70s.
We still experience that in real estate.
Yeah, I've seen that, and
I experienced it the other day, actually. Just an agent not wanting to really work with me. And I could tell we had an amazing offer. It was just...
Right. So, Shayna, thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy. Look into the camera and tell everyone where they can reach you. And give us a final reminder of your top 3 things that you want people to do to get into their new home.
So I want to just tell you that your top 3 things would be to make sure you're financially healthy all around. 1, making sure you know your credit score, where you are, where you stand. Make sure that you have consistent growing income, and then also make sure that you're saving your money and paying your bills, right? So that's kind of like 4 things. And I'm going to add one more thing,
Go
which
ahead.
is just have a great mindset and know your purpose and what you're doing. Don't look to the left or to the right to try to figure out what you're doing, but focus. Make sure you connect with an amazing real estate agent. My team and I would love to help you at the Atlanta Home Experts. We're in Snellville, Georgia, but we work Metro Atlanta. We have agents all throughout Atlanta.
What's your website? Where can they follow you or reach out?
You can find me at my realtor, Shayna Rivers, on Instagram. You can email me at Shayna@theatlantahomeexperts.com. Also, our website is www.theatlantahomeexperts.com. Those are all the places that you can find us.
Great. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you found this content valuable. It's changed your life, your thought process, or your mindset. Stay tuned for part 2 as we share many ways to save, some ways you've never even thought of, on how to get ready just to purchase that home. So it's always customary that we have something here to drink, but we don't have anything. So
I got my coffee.
We had coffee. So let's just wave everybody off with the bye.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
Bye. Wow. How cool is that? Love, love, love the color palette. So here you can teach classes or join a class. You can actually rent private suites in this space. I'll take you to one of the private suites. They come fully furnished. You may have to add a few things of your own, but you have seating. You have your own coded specialty lock. I've never seen keys like this before to these types of doors. And so as you come down the hallway, if you're working late and you need to stay over and take a shower, we have a full shower here. Very nice. I guess you could work till you're tired. So, very beautiful restroom, complete bathroom. And coming soon, I guess this space right here will be a media room so that you can film videos. If you want a different type of backdrop, you can come visit. So here over here, I'm not gonna go in every office space, but what a beautiful, beautiful space we have here. Let's take a different angle. So you can reach out to Shayna and let's go up to the conference area. So this space here is lofted, very beautiful. I'll be quiet because I think she's meeting with a client. You have conference. Look at this. Wow. And let me show you the owner's office suite. So when y'all get ready to purchase your home, you'll come up here and we'll say, sold. Oh, look what we have here. We have Fleur de Dijon Everlasting Roses in the building. And your next agent will be Shayna Rivers. What a wonderful, hi Shayna. Thank you so much for letting us in your office space today.
Anytime.
Can you tell us real quick about the office suites, where they can go and find out more info?
www.joyspaces.us. All the information is there. The pricing is there. You can rent daily, weekly, or have your monthly private office. We also will have a media center for people that want to do a podcast or just come in and take pictures. You can also rent out the main space for small trainings, small events that are centered around entrepreneurship and growth.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So here we go.